Okay, Idol here. Today we're gonna talk about Tower. Let's go. So if you didn't know already, Tower is a one-time challenge content that provides you with a bunch of rewards. You can basically collect these rewards once per character. You can find the tower in every major city, and if you're not really sure where it is, you can use the map to search for it. You can go into the tower as soon as you hit level 50 and complete the first part of the Burn story quest. Now, before we get into the actual run, let me just go over some quick tips. First of all, if you're still in tier 1, it's really important that you do the tower first on your alt. This is because the first time you clear the tower on your roster, you unlock all kinds of rewards like collectibles. The reason you want to do this on your alt is because the second time you clear it on your roster, you get materials instead. The general strategy here is to clear it on your alt up to level 24, and then clear it again on your main so that your main gets the 20 Harmony Shard pouches from clearing up to level 24 for the second time. For those of you who are stuck in tier 1, maybe try and push to level 600, this is the strategy that you need to do. Now, unfortunately, if you've already done it on your main, there's no way to take it back. If you've done that by mistake and you're stuck on Harmony Shards, I would recommend just taking it easy, farming dailies, and also working on collectibles while you wait. Okay, let's get into the run now. First things first, as a bard clearing the tower, your damage is going to be pretty low, especially if you're on item level. That means you're not overgearing it. The first thing you should know is that damage doesn't actually matter as much as you think. While there is a timer for each floor, you have more than enough time to clear it without worrying about pushing damage. Especially as a bard, if you get hit 1 or 2 times, you're basically dead on this floor. So the main reason most people die on this floor is by greeting for damage and then getting hit. As a bard in tower, you're basically playing Dark Souls, so just be patient, dodge, and wait for your chance to attack. Now when you first enter the room, you'll have a few seconds to attack the boss. I'd recommend hitting him with all your fast attacks and then waiting. This is the first pattern. The boss will turn to you and do a large pizza attack. It's easy to dodge this attack if you're close to the boss, so I would recommend standing right next to him and then just walking in a small circle around him. Now right after the first pizza, he'll do 2 large AoE cones to his sides. Again, you just want to do a little circle and reposition yourself behind him. Right after that, he'll do another large pizza attack right in front of him. You see how he does 3 patterns back to back to back. This is why you see me sticking close to him, so I don't have to run very far to dodge the AoE, and as well, I'm not casting anything or doing any attacks that will lock me in an animation, and I'm just focusing on dodging the first wave of attacks. Now you see after the first 3 attacks, he stands still for a while, and if you have any skills off cooldown, this is your chance to attack. Now the next thing he's going to do is the in-out pattern. The boss will either raise his hands above his head, or scoop his hands from bottom to top in a kind of circular motion. You can see that when he raises his hands and makes a kind of triangle with his arms, it's going to be an in-safe pattern. That means that you have to be close to the boss to dodge the attack. Now I know you can see the red AoE, so that seems pretty obvious, but later on you get blinded and you won't be able to see a goddamn thing, so you need to know the patterns. The other pattern he'll do is an out-safe pattern where he'll scoop his hands from bottom to top and then do an explosion. Now he'll do one of the 2 at random, which is why it's called the in-out pattern, because it's either in-safe or it's out-safe. I'd recommend practicing dodging this by looking at his hands and not looking at the red AoE because, like I said, later on you're not going to be able to see the indicator. As you can see, I'll dodge and then position myself at a middle distance. That way, no matter what pattern he does, I don't have to walk very far to dodge it. Like I said before, I'm not attacking or casting in any way, so I don't get locked into an animation. Now again, after the 3rd attack, you have some time, so here you see me casting some abilities and getting some damage in. Your main damage dealer on this floor, believe it or not, is going to be Harp of Rhythm with a bleed rune. You can think of it as a pretty powerful dot that will slowly eat away at the boss's HP even while you dodge mechanics. If you don't have the bleed rune, I would really recommend going to some field bosses and trying to get at the rune. Right after this, it's going to be the front, side, front pattern again. As you can see, I wait, I dodge, and then after the 3rd attack, I start attacking. Then we have another round of in-out. Now this is the laser attack. When you see him gathering black and white energy, he'll do a very powerful laser that will basically one-shot you if it even clips you in any way. What you want to do is just quickly cancel everything you're doing and then walk around him in a tight circle to dodge it. Now later on he'll start doing more attacks in a row, like 4 to 5 attacks, so you want to wait a little longer before you start attacking. Again, Harp of Rhythm will be your best friend. Now when you get the boss low enough, around 3 bars, he'll cover the whole arena in a smoke. This means that you'll no longer be able to see the red AoE indicators on the ground. This is why I was saying that it's important that you know the patterns by looking at his hands or his body, because from now on you won't be able to see where to dodge. So you can see here, he lifts his hands upwards in a triangle position, and if you were paying attention, you would know that that means that in is safe, so I will stay close to him. And then again, he does the same triangle pattern, so I stay close to him. And he actually does it 3 times in a row, so I'm just sitting here doing damage. And then on the last one, you can see him slowly scooping his hands from bottom to top, so I just move out to dodge. After the in-out pattern, there's a short time where I can attack. Now at 2 bars he'll apply a blind to you, and this is called the laser phase. This is extremely dangerous as getting hit by anything in this phase will one-shot you if you're on item level. Now the way to survive is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is run around in a circle and dodge all the lasers. Even though you're blinded, if you're close enough to the boss, you can actually still see him, so I'd recommend sticking to him as close as possible. Now also at this point, I also throw a firebomb as he's getting ready. The firebomb is just an additional dot that helps you get out of this phase faster. Then run in a circle. Now after you dodge 4 lasers, the blind debuff will go away and you have time to attack. This is where I'd recommend popping your Oratorio, your second awakening, and if you don't have this ability, I would really recommend going and getting it before trying to do the tower. Now if you've thrown a fire grenade and used Oratorio, it's pretty likely that he's almost dead, but it's still too early to let your guard down. Like I said, getting clipped by any laser will one-shot you immediately, and a lot of the times you might die with a sliver of health remaining on the boss. It's better to be safe and dodge than greed for damage at the last second. If you've done that, it should be an easy clear. As you can see, I didn't get hit a single time during my actual run, and damage was not a problem because I just slowly whittled them down with Harp. As long as you can dodge and know the patterns, you'll clear it in no time. As you can see here, I was exactly on item level 540, even though I had the True Courage DPS engraving. You can see I actually didn't use my identity at all, so it's like I had 0 engraving. Other than that, tower is pretty manageable. Floor 45 with the wolf boss is pretty tricky as well, but I'd recommend doing the same tactic where you just dodge with the Harp, and then save your awakening for when he's low and blinds you, and then try to finish him off as fast as possible. This has been Ayu, and until next time, Ayu.